I am Banker from Offset's Garage, and I drive a 2020 Chevy Silverado 1500. So I have been around vehicles literally my entire life. My dad, my uncles always were building cars. As we got into high school, I got more into snowmobiles, dirt bikes, motocross type of stuff, because obviously in school you can't really afford sweet cars, sweet trucks. So that's kind of what I got into, which was exciting for the time, but that got old kind of quick as I transitioned more into trucks. Ended up meeting up with Sean as he started Custom Offsets, and we started a shop, and now we're here today. You know, power sports was really fun, but everything's really tiny. So it gets old working on really, really tiny stuff all the time. So trucks are built out of bigger parts, cars are built out of bigger parts. It's a little bit easier to work on. First thing I ever built or customized was probably in high school. My second truck ever that I owned was an 01 Silverado 1500. Leveling kit, had clear headlights and taillights. This was, 2005, 2004, 05, 06, somewhere in there. So this was like the height of Fast and the Furious. So that was kind of the look that was in. So I color matched everything, had clear headlights. It was a gray truck, so it was all gray and chrome and everything matched. And the first vehicle I really got into customizing was that truck. Which I owned for a really, really long time, because after I had so much time into it, I just didn't want to get rid of it. So then after that, the next step in the progression was the Black Silverado, which if you've seen any Custom Offsets videos, you know about my black truck. So that was the next big build, which again, I kept for a really long time because I had so much into it until, we got to 2020 and I really just needed one of these new trucks. If you didn't know, 2019 we went to SEMA, right? We built a Super Duty, all sorts of fun. So for the next year, I was told I couldn't rebuild a Super Duty, and that was kind of the point where if I wanted to go to SEMA 2020, I'd have to build something different. I'd been looking at the new Silverados. I was really mad when they first came out, but people have been modifying them. They look a lot better. So I wanted to get my hands on one anyway for me personally, and that whole if you want to go to SEMA, buy a new truck thing sealed the deal. So I went out and picked one up as soon as possible, and then SEMA never happened. So for the 2020, obviously hooked up with a lot of the partners that I had hooked up with in 2019 for SEMA. So we've got Archons on here. They're the new Roosevelts. I absolutely love this wheel. When they first came out, everybody's a little bit concerned with the design because they're not proper directional. Which is what I like the most about them. Having a concave wheel was a little bit of a change for me, a little bit of a struggle, but as soon as we saw these things come in the 24x14s, and how deep the concavity is on this wheel, I was like, yeah, absolutely, got to do it. It's a rowdy looking wheel. So then we wrapped them in some Gladiators, and I wanted a really aggressive tire this time, and Gladiator is like the most aggressive tire out there that's making something for a 24-inch wheel. So we got 37, 13.5 R24 Gladiator X comps on there. I absolutely love these tires. I've had them in the mud and they perform great, as they should, but the amazing thing is how well they ride on the highway. So I was super impressed with that. For the lift kit, last year Superlift wanted to work with us on the Super Duty. They didn't really make anything big enough. They have this unreleased black diamond kit, has king coilovers, a bunch of skid plates, cool stuff like that they personally had on their own truck at SEMA 2019. So I was like, hey, we can do that kit. This year was supposed to be the year that it came out at SEMA. Again, SEMA didn't happen, so the kit's still unreleased, which is kind of cool because it means I'm one of 2 trucks that has them. The thing rides absolutely phenomenal. We had a little bit of a hiccup in the build process, thought it was going to be an 8-inch, it's actually a 6-inch, so ended up having to get an add leaf and stack a leveling kit in there to get the 8 inches to tuck the 37s, but everything turned out really, really well. I had my boy Chris down Southern Style hook me up, did some powder coat on there, so high-vis yellow. Really wanted to go wild with this truck. The last one was all blacked out with a little bit of chrome. This one, I just kind of wanted to be a little bit, keep my simplicity, but be a little bit louder with it. Partner from 2019, ADD. hooked us up. They had these new bumpers come out for the Silverado 1500s. Not the one that I had planned on doing, but this is a brand new release. And they're asked me if I was willing to run it. I think this one is even more aggressive than the one I was planning on doing, so I'm absolutely all in on that. Recon hooked me up with a set of taillights. Absolutely love their product. These taillights look absolutely killer. They're the only ones that make anything for this 2019-2020 yet, so absolutely had to get those guys on board as well. So Truck Hero has been kind of my main sponsor on the truck. So I've got some vent shades, vent visors on the windows from AVS, and a Truxedo Pro X tonneau cover. These are all Truck Hero brands, so those guys really hooked me up big time. Again, this was, for a SEMA build, so it was kind of a Truck Hero SEAL collaboration, which hopefully we'll have a SEMA in 2021 and get to see it out there. Why waste all of my time, money, and effort on trucks? I think that just goes back to it's been ingrained in my brain since I was little. And I use trucks pretty regularly. We got animals on the farm, and we got toys, snowmobiles, four-wheelers, stuff like that. So, I mean, you kind of need a truck for all that, and why not have a cool one while you're at it? I mean, the hardest part about this entire build, honestly, was getting the truck in the first place. I decided, I wanted a new truck over winter, but I wasn't going to drive a brand new truck in winter in Wisconsin and just destroy it with my plan of going to SEMA in the fall. So wanted to wait till spring. Well, we all know what happened in spring. Everything shut down, dealership shut down. Called up our boy Tim, who hooked us up on the Super Duty from last year. Said, I found one locally, it fell through, so what can you get me? And he searched all over, got me the exact truck I was wanting. So shout out to Tim at Holiday for getting me this truck in the middle of a pandemic. Because I'm so into the scene, and I kind of always have been, I love to stay up and see what everybody else is doing. So like all of my peers, all the other builders out there in the game, I always take cues from stuff I like. So a lot of my cues come from hot rod muscle car stuff, just because that was my upbringing. So I try to translate a lot of that in. I'm from the middle of nowhere, so like I get a little bit off-road stuff, and then the cues from all the show trucks from the guys that we hang out with at SEMA. So I kind of try and ball everything up together and come up with something that works really well for me, but at the same time is a little bit different than everybody else out there. I mean, if I had to pick my favorite thing about building trucks, or the reason I do it, it's almost the reaction from other people. Like, we build our trucks for ourselves for the most part, but it's always cool to see how people react to it. Pull up to a car in traffic and your lift kit glows, and like little kids walking down the side of the street, or when they see the truck somewhere at a show, just how excited they get. And you get used to doing this every day and getting in trucks every day and driving them every day. You kind of get numb to how cool it actually is, and that kind of reminds you that you're not just normal traffic or anything like that. And that's kind of the best part about it.